Hi guys, it's Elisa at Moat Cottage. If you saw my freezer inventory video, you would have seen when we got to the fridge freezer. It was awful, it was chaos, and we just got used to it. It had slowly got out of hand, and you just get used to something like that and you don't really realise because you know where everything is and you just use it every day. And when I made that video, I realised that I wasn't happy with the way it was. It was just not how I like to live. So I've been busy the last week and I've taken a little bit of time each day to do a little bit, and I'll show you what I've come up with. First up, I worked out what we actually used all the time and what needed to be in this freezer. As you know, we have the big freezer, so things we don't use very often can go in there, and then what we use every day can be in this fridge, or at least every few days. So I took out the things like that ice cream that nobody uses, and that made room for the things we do use. So knowing the ingredients I wanted to have in here, I worked out the sizes of the containers I would need. I worked out the containers that I already had and the sizes of the containers that I would need. Then I jumped online and I found a half price sale on these containers at our shops that are about 45 minutes away. So we took a trip and bought up on all these containers, and they are freezer proof, so they're not going to break over time because they're fragile, because they're not for the freezer, because they are, and they're also airproof, so they have a really good seal on them. They're also BPA free. I then labelled what's in each one, and this is with an oil-based paint pen that I have for my jars, so I just use that, and then I can see everything and the family can see everything that's in the container. This container here I already had, and the pastry fit perfectly in that, so it doesn't have to be in messy plastic bags, and I can see how much I've got left because the containers are see-through. I've got the dog eggs in there, some more dog eggs, which I won't make extra. I will just make enough to fit in the container now that I have a container to fit. So up here we have some cucumbers from the garden from the summer. And behind the peas I have spinach and onion. Right up the back, which is sort of being hidden, but I know they're there, are my prawns. I also brought in the shredded zucchini from the other freezer so that we can just grab a bag and start cooking it when we're cooking the other vegetables as well. And they can get used up before we start picking the new ones from our summer season, if we're lucky enough to have some grow. And my frozen kumquats for making another batch of marmalade when I get all the fruit ready for that. I also worked on the fridge while I was on a mission, and although it took me a week of just doing a shelf at a time, it adds up, and now I have a clean fridge that's well organised. So we have our dairy up the top, we move down and we have our nuts up the back, sauerkraut, strawberries and soup yogurt, some no-bake muesli bars, which are my specialty, which I'll share with you one day. We've got some broccoli chopped up because I find it gets used more if it's already chopped up and on visual display. I have some seeds, some tomatoes from the garden that are dehydrated, semi-dehydrated, some feta, some rocket, spinach. These containers are great because they have the tray underneath and the leaves last a lot longer. I've got some kombucha bottles, some prawns that are ready for a meal today, some more seeds and nuts to sprinkle over cereals or in porridges. I've got some hummus, my homemade hummus of course, some chopped carrots, and to keep them fresh for longer, they've got some towel, damp towel on the bottom, and that keeps them for longer. If I want to keep them even longer than that, I will ferment them And then I always have carrot sticks on hand ready to eat, which is a great snack with the hummus, and it's way easier when you've already chopped them up. In this I have some ABC salad, which is apple, beetroot and carrot grated up, and I just add a little bit of mayonnaise when it's time to eat. And this one is some roasted pumpkin with feta, walnuts and sunflower seeds, and I just add some spinach to that and a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and that's another salad ready to go. So I've always got healthy snacks ready, and I don't have to cook if I don't want to or if I don't have the energy to, and I can always eat well. We've got our apples and pears and some veggies, and of course some spare nuts, cheeses, butter, and there was a sale on a Philadelphia cream cheese, so I bought 8. And the door is all organised and clean as well. It's amazing what you can achieve when you have a goal and you do a little bit every day or every second day. Not everyone has the energy to do a big job like cleaning out the fridge and tidying it up and organising it in one go. So doing a little bit and breaking it up makes it so much easier, and you achieve the goal in the end. Whether it takes 1 week or 2 weeks, you will have a clean fridge and it will be organised, and you'll know what you need and what you don't need, and you'll be inspired to eat better as well because you can see what you've got. And everything got washed, everything got cleaned, everything got organised, and as you saw, it's a great functioning fridge now. I mean, you know, I love my organisation. So remember, when you've got tasks to do, you don't have to do them all at once. You can break them down into little pieces and eventually you will get the job done. Thanks for watching. See you next time.